Hello and welcome for another exciting video for the Refund Consulting Program launch. Now, today I want to talk to you about that very sexy word that I use quite often, and it's called scalability. And first off, I want to tell you that I do think that it is critical that you develop your knowledge and your expertise and your systems and your tools, okay, and be fully in control of them for at least 12 months before you even start thinking about scaling upwards, okay? So, and realistically, I would say 18 months, to be honest, but like minimum 12 months if you're in a huge rush. And then I want to talk to you about what scalability is. Now, how do you actually scale? How do you actually leverage a business so that it's making you more and achieving more? Now, there are a number of ways that you can do it. And first of all, I want you to think about are you going to want to scale up? Okay, because when you scale up, you are making more, okay, and growing that business a lot more, but you're also a lot more hands-on. Even though you're going to be getting other people to take certain parts of the job or certain work tasks, okay, while it frees you up, it will mean that you actually need to do some more management. Does that make sense? So it becomes a little bit more serious, like one of the best things that I liked about the refund business was that I could do just about everything. Okay, when I very first started, I had a newborn baby, I had a toddler, and the way that it worked for me was, I could do all my administration, all my people contact, all my claims. I was, jack of all trade, but you know what? It was very manageable. It was really, really manageable because the income for the effort was substantial. Okay, and that's because you were charging a decent percentage. So, first I want you to think about, do you want to scale up? Do you want to, because there's always that compromise. And if the answer is yes, I do, I want to scale up, I want to be able to generate more income from this business long term, then you need to look at, okay, have I got my expertise and my knowledge, at a really good level? Because if you don't, you are going to be in trouble scaling upwards, okay? So if you don't feel like, yes, I am now an expert, and you are not going to be an expert for at least a year and a half. Even though you might be feeling confident, okay, you would be surprised. Like, most people come at 2 years and go, oh my God, I cannot believe some of the things I did. I was so naive, right? And they thought they were fine at the time. So be aware of that. Scalability means this. Number one, you can actually get, a PA to actually step in, and they can assist you with some of the mundane tasks. All right, and so that will actually increase your productivity. Now, very often you can use either a local PA or you can use a VA, a virtual assistant. Now, in my business, I've used a lot of different services. I've had a lot of PAs, that were based in Australia working with me. Whenever I was traveling, I would have someone that was local that was working in the business to assist me so that I can be overseas and not have to, make calls at crazy time zones, right? But I've also used VAs, and they can be fantastic. They come from India, they come from the Philippines, sometimes they come from Vietnam. The rate of pay is phenomenal. As an example, one of my VAs at the moment charges, and she's executive level, and very well written, very well spoken, very strong admin skills, and her income is about $600 a month, and she's very, very, very highly paid because AUD converted to Filipino pesos at $600 is fantastic money. I think it's something like 30,000 Filipino pesos that she gets paid, which is really good income. And she works from home and does a lot of my administration. Not all, but specific tasks for admin. How many of those can you have in a business that's thriving? Quite a few. Needless to say, you need to have strong work agreements with non-disclosure and confidentiality clause for anyone that you employ. You need to protect your business, and you need to be protecting the Refund Consulting Program. Don't forget, you've got a mandate with your agreement with us that you protect the actual business model. So when you are hiring, and I do this religiously, you have to have in your work contract, there has to be a non-disclosure and a confidentiality clause. And if you want them, okay, if you're going to be hiring, get in contact with us and get samples of that, okay? Really important stuff, because you don't want to gamble with your business. Now, what else can you do? You can actually put processes in place where, you can try and semi-automate your searches, okay? You can utilize staff, that can just do mass search for you, all right? And be able to do, you can actually have like a mailing house that helps you with mailing large volumes of letters, and you just basically press a button, right? Send them your list for the day, and have those letters sent out. So that's a way of automating and being able to scale upwards where you're doing monstrous volumes. You can have a staffer that, whether they're based locally or based overseas. And the difference is, my PA in Australia is charging me $32 an hour. Okay, my PA in the Philippines is charging me, $600 a month for 40-hour weeks. So that's the difference in pricing. And, one is not better than the other. I love the idea of supporting local industry, but I'm also saying that, we run in a global community, a global economy, and you can actually utilize, people, whether they're Philippines, India, Vietnam, Thailand. You get a lot of Australians that are living in Thailand and wanting to get work. You pay them in their local currency, baht. It's like, $1 is 30 baht. Think about that. So, where do you hire? Well, there's places called, Upwork. There is freelancer.com. There is fiverr.com. And, there are places where you can actually find a lot of really skilled labor very cheaply. You can test them on small tasks, be very smart, be protective of your business model, and, you can scale up that way. How else can you scale up? Well, you can scale up by actually having, your business grow to a certain level where, you are actually having different sections within your business that deal with different types of money. So, for example, you can have like, a small section that deals in deceased estate, and so that, that expertise, those, let's say 1 or 2 staff, just they're really into deceased estates, and they use the tools for it, they have the skill set for it, and that's all they do. You can then have someone or a team, 1 or 2, that work, for example, dealing with companies, whether it's Australia or international, etc. And you can grow that way as well. So, I've seen different things being done, and I've seen really smart ways of being able to, automate, simplify, utilize other people's time in a way that that gives you that leverage and being able to produce more, do more, etc. And so you then step back and really manage that process and watch, what's working, what's not working. Whatever's working, you increase. Whatever's not working, you chop off, okay? Or trial different things, and if it's not working, then you chop that off and trial something else. That becomes your part of your role. You don't become, frontline anymore. You become management. And I don't know whether that's necessarily, the better way, but if you're wanting to scale up, remember, you will be the manager rather than the person that's doing, claiming, talking, etc. So, food for thought. This is very brief, I know, but, we can go into a lot more detail and a lot more depth with your specific business needs through the support. Best of luck and have a great day.